What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video starring my co-host, my partner.
Me.
In today's video, y'all, we starting a new series or a new segment. I don't know what to call it. Basically, Uber and Lyft stories.
We're reacting to people's.
We basically reacting to people's. They sent me a DM of different stories, so me and her gonna give our full reaction. So if y'all like this series or this segment, whatever.
Or if you have any personal stories, let us know.
Yeah, or if you have any personal stories yourself, please let us know in the comment section, or you can email me. All right, so first story we got, I'm not going to say her name, but this is what she said. She said, I was driving in New York City when a female passenger started arguing with her husband. She suddenly said, I'm paying, and reached across to grab and turned the steering wheel while I was driving.
What the hell?
On the highway. This was extremely dangerous and put my life and their life and others on the road at risk. I immediately pulled over to a safe spot and ended the trip. That was justifiable.
What the hell?
Yeah. She said she was driving. They started arguing, and then the wife said, I'm paying, reached across to, I guess, get her purse, and in the process of doing so, hit the driver's steering wheel.
But how did she hit the driver's steering wheel?
I don't know. The only way I see that happening is if she, like the wife, was in the passenger seat and the husband sat in the back seat. But that's the only way I can see it.
But that makes no sense. If you have both wheels on the driver, even if like somebody touches you, what? That doesn't make sense to me. But nonetheless, I think that's weird. And I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how that happened. Yeah, that's super duper weird. But yeah. So what I would have done in that situation is basically what she did. Basically pulled over and kicked them out. First off, that's super dangerous. To even be fighting in a stranger car is super duper weird.
Unprofessional.
Super unprofessional. I never understood that. Now, I had that happen to me a couple times where like the couples would be in the back arguing, not like yelling or screaming, but they'd be going back and forth. Sometimes they even put you in a conversation. I'm like, man, like, keep me out of this, bro. Like, I just want to stay to myself today. But I had that happen a couple times. So I think what she did in this situation is the best. I would have kicked them out immediately. Like I was saying, people that argue in front of strangers, that's diabolical to me. How could you go back and forth? And not only that, tell your personal business to a stranger. But I get everybody different.
Yeah.
Because you'll get some people in an SUV that'll have a full-fledged conversation in front of you, talking about the craziest stuff on the phone.
Yes.
I'm like, how you get in an Uber ride with a stranger and just have them on speaker and y'all talking, having like a conversation? I think that's weird. I think if you're going to take a call, end it once you get in an Uber and then pick back up and call them after the driver drop you off.
I mean, unless like you have AirPods in or like, I don't know. To me, I don't really care.
But you still can hear the conversation.
Yeah, I just don't care.
You don't care? Mm-mm. What's your reaction to the story?
I don't know. The story just didn't make sense to me. Like, was it intentional or was it accidental? Because if it was intentional for her to, like, touch the steering wheel, because you can't, like, physically, how can somebody accidentally touch the steering wheel, right? If it was accidental, obviously, like, that avenue was great. If it was intentional, I don't know. I have a very short temper with certain actions. So I would probably cuss them out, reported them to Uber, probably filed a report if something did happen as far as, like, damages. Check the vehicle to make sure there were no damages, because if you're swerving, did you hit a nail? Did you hit anything while you were swerving? Like, all those things would play into a role. But overall, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the story just didn't add up for me to really have like a full raw reaction.
Yeah, and I even DM'd this person too, because I was trying to really get like to the gist of the story. Here, I got it. And I asked her, I said like, hey, would you like to get on video call and share your story? And she said no. Yeah, so you see, she didn't want to go on video call to share like the story. So
in summary, I feel like they were all at fault.
Water driver though, she's just driving.
Yeah, but how can you not pay attention to somebody moving in your vehicle?
Yeah, that is true. Maybe she could have prevented it before it happened. Like, hey, ma'am, could you sit down, please?
Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
I'm driving.
Yeah. But that, like I said, the only way that can happen is if the wife was in the passenger seat and she like reached. But still, like you said, if you're driving with both hands on the steering wheel,
like how could you swerve into like other people?
I don't know. That story is kind of weird.
I don't know. I don't get it. But overall, I mean, I really don't have a reaction. If it was accidental, I mean, obviously that's good. She took it that way as far as like making sure they're out of her vehicle to prevent like extra damages or extra liability. But then if it was intentional, I would have took the, route of holding the people accountable. Because here's the thing. Once you like, how do I say this? Like, it was probably not their first rodeo. And I'm a firm believer that, like, people do shit because they think that they can get away with it. So, like, I feel like they probably had that encounter multiple times. So, if it was intentional, I feel like holding those people accountable is very important. And these are, like, adults at the end of the day.
And this is why it's super important to have a dash cam, because she says she'll go after them legally and hold them accountable. But you also have to prove that, too. What if you don't have a dash camera? Now it's your word versus their word.
Or like, what if she wanted to come back and say, oh, this Uber driver was bad. Like, she started swerving into oncoming traffic, and then the whole time you're the one who caused it. It's just like, having dash cam, stay protected, protect yourself, especially in this scenario. The story didn't match up, so I can't really say much, but.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. So thank you all for coming to our little first episode of Uber Stories. I feel like this segment probably would get super big. So if you're a rideshare driver right now, whether you do Uber, Lyft, whatever rideshare you do, let us know down in the comment section if you have any crazy stories to share. We'll react to them. Also, if you don't want to comment the story, just email me. My email is in my bio. So that being said, we'll catch y'all next video.
Bye.